Here we are again. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. This time around, we're talking about our favorite soundtracks, specifically various artists' soundtracks with multiple artists on there. So we're not going to be talking about things like Purple Rain or The Rose or Superfly or any of that kind of stuff. Or Elvis, Roustabout or Harem Scarum. I'm sure that's one of our favorites. But we won't be talking about those because those are only single artist soundtracks. We're talking about various artist soundtracks in this one. So keep that in mind when commenting. Where's the... Yeah, we're only talking about various artist soundtracks. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fitton, along with Mike from Hubtunes, Richard from Calvin Wazoo, and ladies and gentlemen, the man that actually pays attention and pulls the album he's supposed to pull for the show, Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora. Thank you, Craig.
Hi.
I pulled a record.
And then pulled a different one.
Got one.
All right. I'll start off. And so, yeah, I have like 8 or 9 here. I just went ahead and went through all my soundtracks and pulled what I thought were the most interesting ones. And the first couple are actually soundtracks to movies, but they're also sort of live albums, because the movie is basically a concert movie. And this first one is called Erg, A Music War. And look at that lineup. A double album that came out in 1981. And the Police started off. But it's not... The Police started off with Driven to Tears. So great.
One of my favorites.
Wall of Voodoo. Craig's favorite, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, is on here. Oingo Boingo, XTC, The Members, The Go-Go's, Klaus Nomi. Now we've got Richard's attention. Alley Cats, Jules Holland from
Squeeze.
Squeeze. Steel Pulse, we have a song called Ku Klux Klan.
Oh.
Devo, Echo and the Bunnymen, The Au Pairs, The Cramps. Not a favorite of mine, a favorite of someone else's on the panel. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Para Ubu, Gary Newman. It's got all of our favorites on here.
What Gary Newman song?
Down in the Park.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
And X 999, Gang of Four, The Flesh Tone, Scottish. And these aren't just the song. These are all live performances that you can see in this movie. So it's not just a collection of songs that you can get anywhere. These are actually all live. Wow. It's similar to The Decline of Western Civilization, but a little less punk or a little less heavy metal, depending on what part you're talking about, and more of the new wave type stuff. So yeah, Erg, A Music War. I mean, you don't need artwork; you just need all
those names. Yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
I have the movie, which is really hard to get. You have to have it made on demand by the video company because of all the copyright involved. It's not mass produced.
Oh.
So yeah, it's wonderful. Same idea, completely different sound. That is Wattstax, The Living
I could have
Word.
pulled that.
What's that?
I could have pulled that.
There's a volume 2 for this as well. I've shown this on here before. This is the same kind of a situation where this is more of a documentary of the concert, though. The Erg is more of just the concert. This, though, is Watts in Los Angeles area. And they're putting together this huge concert. It's mostly Stax art. Well, I think it's actually all Stax artists. Yeah. And they're seeing if they can pull this off, and they certainly do. But the movie also features behind the scenes things. It has Richard Pryor giving commentary and, some of the bands backstage or in a limo as the staple singers are. But excellent. Unlike Erg, Music War, this one actually has a gatefold where you can see the performers. But yeah, Isaac Hayes, the staple singers, Eddie Floyd, Albert King, the Soul Children, the Bar-Kays, Rufus Thomas doing the funky chicken. He gets the whole crowd to get up and do the funky chicken. And when you pull a whole crowd of that size out of their seats, good luck getting them back in their seats. And that's a whole part of the movie too. It's like, okay, everybody's got to get back in their seats. Everybody's okay. That was a mistake, Rufus. Thank you. Everybody back in their seats.
Yeah.
So an excellent movie, an excellent slice of Americana, really. I mean, this is America, and this is a piece of American history right here. And some great performances, some okay performances. But yeah, Watt Stacks, and like I said, there are 2 volumes of that. I don't have the other one.
Well, there's a box set too that has the entire concert, and it's
Oh, I didn't know
reasonably priced. You can
Yeah.
CD or record or
it's a vinyl.
oh wow, I didn't
It's
realize
like
that.
a 10 record set.
A completely different kind of music again, but certainly a huge soundtrack. And again, just like the Watt Stack, just like a Music War, this was a slice of Americana, a definite staple of the era. Urban Cowboy.
Oh, Urban Cowboy.
A much better soundtrack than a movie, but this has not only
A good movie.
current songs, but also some older songs too put on here. I didn't do a lot of sound. This is the only one I think that has, well, there's 2 that has older music mixed in with the newer music. I didn't do like American Graffiti or the Incredible Boogie Nights where they just take, or Big Chill where they just take old songs and put them on the soundtrack. But this has a few on there like Lion Eyes from the Eagles. But mostly it has current songs like Could I Have This Dance?
For the rest of my life. Thank you, Anne Murray.
Yeah, All Night Long from Joe Walsh, 9 Tonight, the studio version from Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, which is kind of hard to find. Love the World Away from Kenny Rogers, that was a big hit. Stand By Me, Mickey Gilley's version, which is the same song, but a completely different arrangement than the Benny King one. It was a huge country hit. Johnny Lee, Looking for Love.
In all the wrong places.
all the wrong places. Do you all know that song?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and see, you're not really country, well, except for Craig. You guys aren't really country fans, but you all
I
know
used
that
to have
one.
that soundtrack. Yeah.
That is how huge that was. Devil Went Down to Georgia was originally released, before this, so it's just part of this. But yeah, all kinds of great songs on here, and this is really what was part of a culture at the time. This was when everybody was going out first to the bars and learning the country line dances.
Right.
You had people in big cities putting on cowboy, urban cowboy. That's what that is. It means that you're in a big city, but you're dressed up like a cowboy. Started in places like Texas and Dallas and places like that. The TV show Dallas was an urban cowboy type thing. You got guys who are businessmen who basically work in an office making deals and whatever, but they're walking around in boots and cowboy hats.
You probably still do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. That's why this is so important, because this was the beginning of that.
Yeah.
And they decided to make a movie and exploit all that with a movie and a soundtrack. What else do I have? I have Repo Man.
Yeah.
This is the other one that kind of puts a few older songs, but they're all in the same kind of vein. But just again, reading off the bands on here really gives you a great snapshot of. I think most of my soundtracks that I'm pulling really put a time on. They're snapshots of an era. They're not just a movie soundtrack from a funny movie or a great movie. They're really cultural pieces of culture. And this is the LA punk scene.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't think I can say their first word or we'll get tagged, but there's some sort of tendencies. It starts with an S. They are on here. So are the Plugs. So are the Circle Jerks. So are Black Flag. Iggy Pop shows up for the first song as well. And the Circle Jerks get Fear. So they get a little bit of New York action in here as well. And then some band called the Juicy Bananas. And of course, the Burning Sensations. And this movie, you weren't cool unless you'd seen Repo Man.
Right.
This was kind of a harder movie to find. We had one video store that had one copy. It was always checked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Repo Man with Harry Dean Stanton and of course Emilio Estevez. Or Estevez. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Estevez.
I should have shown this one right after Urban Cowboy or right before it. Another one that really captures the moment, more than just being a movie soundtrack. Also starring the guy who starred in Urban Cowboy. Anybody want to guess?
Fever.
Grease.
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, this again was not more than just a soundtrack. It was that's that the one you pulled?
Yeah, this is one of the two I pulled.
Oh, okay. Next down to one. So yeah, I mean, this if it was just a single album, it would be a Bee Gees album, but it's a double album. So you also have Yvonne Elliman on here. You have MFSB which my sister used to say. I used to have a 45 of MFSB called The Sound of Philadelphia, TSOP by MFSB. And my sister, who was always trying to get me in trouble, older sister, typical older sister, little older, not my way older, but little older, had an older sister that was like a second mom. Then I had my sister that was a little bit older. She was, you ever watch Peanuts?
Yeah.
Lucy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Lucy. She convinced my mother that I shouldn't have that 45 because MFSB stands for motherfucking son of a bitch.
Oh, that's not what it stands for?
That's an aside. Cool and the Gang is on here. The Tramps with Disco Inferno. Casey and the Sunshine Band just want to put on their boogie shoes.
Boogie Shoes. That's the best song.
Great song.
No, that is not the best song. Disco Inferno, Staying Alive, Night Fever. Those are the best songs. You should be dancing. Are you kidding? Those are all better than boogie shoes.
No, I don't know about
More than a woman. If I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby. If I can't have you, we don't even need words anymore.
No, we just need
More Than a Woman is on here twice. The other one is Tavares. They have better songs. They should have put Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. That's a better song.
That's a great song.
But yeah, great. Awesome. Definite sign of the times. Everybody had that. Two versions of this, by the way. One features a studio version of Jive Talkin'. The other one has a live version.
Oh. I did not know that.
We have this one. The only one, no, I'm Repo Man's from the 80s. Oh, so is a Music War. Okay, not the only 80s one I'm showing, but the most recent soundtrack that I'm showing today. Footloose. Had this on a cassette originally. This features Footloose from Kenny Loggins. Let's hear it for the boy. All big hits. Almost Paradise. Another hit. It's like hit. Side one. Hit. 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 You turn it over. Side two. Hit. Hit. Not a hit. Rock hit. And then not a hit. So there's 2 songs out of 9 that weren't on the radio. But yeah, Holding Out for a Hero is tops. That's the one that's just like. I usually don't like drum machines, but it really works in that song. Shalimar has Dancing in the Streets.
Sheets.
Yeah, Sheets. Dancing in the Sheets. I got a 2-track.
That's the best song ever.
The best song ever is Holding Out for a Hero. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's good, but I'm Dancing in the Sheets is where it's at.
No, it's Holding Out for a Hero. Yeah. And then you
I
get
mean,
Sammy Hagar on here with The Girl Gets Around. This was also originally supposed to have Quiet Riot's Mental Health Will Drive You Crazy on here, Bang Your Head. But Quiet Riot's management felt like they did not fit on the Footloose soundtrack. That would ruin their image if they were on this. They're in the song is in the movie.
Yeah, the song
was on the soundtrack. It would ruin their image, and so they ended up losing out all kinds of
soundtrack
money. Yeah. So the reason I picked this is because when I had this on a cassette, my sister, who I was previously talking about, sometimes we got along, like later, like, 84, that's different than being a kid in the 70s with MFSB 45. And so she is 6 years older than I am, and she is going on some sort of post-high school trip with other people in the group she was in that was like future medical people, or whatever, the summer thing she was involved in with for people who were going into a medical field. And so they were all going to Six Flags. And the guy who's driving the bus, it was like an after the thing is over, we're going to celebrate by everybody's going to Six Flags. Six Flags is a big, huge amusement park for those who don't have that in their area. Similar to like Cedar Point or something like that. Roller coasters and all that. So everybody can bring a guest. It's all girls, except for the man that's leading the program, and he's driving. And so every girl can bring a guest. So one girl brings her boyfriend. A lot of girls bring like their friend, who's another girl. My sister brings her little brother. How fun was that for everybody?
Her little gay brother?
Yeah. And her little gay brother, everybody, the radio is broken. And they know this beforehand. the system works, but the radio will not change stations. So it's locked on static and the tuning knob won't work. So everybody can bring some tapes. So we'll have something to listen to.
Oh, dear.
And a bunch of them didn't bring tapes, and a couple of them did. We had a Carpenter's tape in the mix. We had a Christian tape in the mix. And Kathy's little brother brings the Footloose soundtrack, which he just got. And wow, everybody puts their tapes out. I thought everybody was going to be, and the girl who brought the boyfriend, he brings heavy metal. And no one wants to hear that. I don't remember what it was. It was something like Iron Maiden or something like that, but nobody wanted to hear that. And so I brought Footloose because I just got it. It was the one that I had just recently got, and I was going to be cool and bring a new. I thought everybody was going to bring new tapes. I thought I was going to be right in the mix, and everybody, we'd have a Duran Duran, and we'd have a Culture Club, and we'd have a Van Halen, and we would be having a party, and they wouldn't want to hear my dorky Footloose soundtrack. It was the exact opposite. We listened to nothing but the Footloose soundtrack all the way there, half of it again on the way there, half of it on the way back, and then all the way through on the way back. 3 times we listened to the Footloose over and over. They were so excited to hear that. One of the girls said to my sister, "Your little brother has the coolest tapes on this bus." And I was on cloud 9. All these 18-year-old, 19-year-old girls, I was 11, and they all thought I was really cool, except for the one with the Christian tape. She didn't think I was very cool because she wanted to hear her.
How ironic,
Michael W. Smith or whatever the fuck it was.
But
ironic,
yeah. Isn't it?
So this will always hold a special place in my heart. I don't think I have the cassette. I should have kept the cassette. But yeah, Footloose. Better, just for the memories. And to wrap it up, since we are the Vinyl Community Guncles, a couple here. The Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack. Now, if you're as old as we are, kids, this is how you had to listen to all this, because the movie was not available at home. You had to go
that
to
is written. That is written entirely by one person.
But it's not a single
performed.
Yeah.
But it's performed by
It's Tim Curry, Susan Sarandon, Barry Bostwick, Patricia Quinn.
That's who stars in the movie,
Charles
but
Gray.
the music is all written by one person.
Well, written by, performed is different.
Right.
Performed wise, it's various artists.
Tim Curry, Susan Sarandon, Meatloaf, Jonathan Adams, Patricia Quinn. Anyway, so this was the only way you could hear this. And if you wanted to hear the songs and play them over and over again, it was not available on video until 1990. So all throughout the 80s, this was not on video. I mean, some people had it bootlegged or whatever, but an official video of this VHS did not come out until 1990. I bought it the day it came out. It was $89.99 because it wasn't released for sell-through. It was released at a rental price. But yeah, used to play this over and over. And then by the time I saw the movie, I'd had this for about 6 months. And so I knew the songs. And man, I still remember the first time I ever saw that in a theater. I'm sure we all do, just blown away. And then you couldn't go home and like relive the memory. You had to go back to the theater the next week and the next week.
Yeah.
And
it was a midnight showing every Friday
show.
night and Saturday night. A lot of
I've
cities
never
for
seen
like decades.
in the St. Louis area at that time, it was the Tivoli that would show that. High Point showed it later on, but it wasn't the same after the video tape came out, because then the audience changed and people who didn't see the movie at the theater, they had seen the video over and over, so they knew all the things, but they didn't get it organically, through the theater showing. But you could also get this as well. This is the audience participation album, where everybody. What a great!
That's a great photo.
That is. But this is the audience participation. It's basically just a live recording of a theater showing this, and all the things you're supposed to shout and whatever. Although when we did it at the Tivoli, we did have different things than some of the things that were shouted out in
some places would have people dressed up as the characters go on stage during the movie and be acting out the movie while it was going out, and everybody.
Yeah, we had that. They were below the screen.
Yeah,
You
below the
kind of
screen, yeah.
if you were in certain seats, you wouldn't be able to see them that well, but they were
Right.
kind of under the screen.
Yeah.
And there were certain
that's
things in the theater in the Tivoli theater in St. Louis that you could not bring. You could not bring. Some people were throwing like hot dogs or something like that, or there's a scene with hot dogs or something. You couldn't do that, and you couldn't do rice.
Yeah, we weren't allowed
rice at the wedding scene, and they didn't. Anything that involved food, you could not throw. It had to be non-food.
In the wedding scene.
Yeah,
must be when they introduced Frankenfurter, they threw hot dogs.
Maybe that would make sense. Yeah. And so my final one, in the same vein, sort of same audience, is the soundtrack to the movie Cruising. This, I love the fact that in this movie, which is a William Friedkin movie that was extremely controversial at the time, starring Al Pacino as a guy who is a policeman who goes undercover in the S&M scene in New York to find a killer. The movie is strange. It's very ambiguous as to who the killer is. You still don't know at the end. Spoiler alert, but it's not really. I'm cautioning you, really. You don't find out really who the killer is. It leaves it very wide open for interpretation. So don't go in this expecting a murder mystery that you're going to solve and you're going to pull the guy's mask off at the end. Oh my God, Mr. Barker from the amusement park. It's not like that. It's thought that it's like a Shining type movie where there could be all these different answers. Some people even have a theory that Al Pacino is the murderer, for God's sakes. But the one thing I love about this movie, gay people didn't like this movie when it was being made because it's not a very great portrayal of gay people because it makes everybody look like they're a bunch of leather people.
10-minute explanation of the hanky code.
Right. They don't say what the red one's for, though. That's where the scene ends. And I thought that was funny. But
really?
What's the red one for? Cut.
Really? I don't remember that. The
scenes in the leather bar are actual leather people. They're not actors, with the exception of Al Pacino and a couple of other people who were involved in the movie. The rest of the people are actual patrons. And there's all this footage that got lost. I would love, as well as thousands of other people would love to see that footage.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, it's an incredible snapshot of the time. And at that time,
so what's on the soundtrack?
The sound, I was going to say, one of the best things I love about it is the soundtrack is not a bunch of synth pop or a bunch of, it's gay music. It's really hard, like rock kind of punkish. Willie DeVille is on here, and the best song on here is it's also used in the movie later on in the movie Death Proof, is It's So Easy. That is a great example of the whole thing. It's just this really hard kind of punkish post-punk kind of stuff, and the Germs are on here, and then John Hyatt is on here, strangely enough, and Rough Trade, and just all of these really harder bands. And I love the fact that that is the music that's in this. So yeah, Cruisin' soundtrack featuring rare songs from the Germs and Willie DeVille, who does an excellent job, kind of a New York tough guy, kind of bluesy rock, kind of speed cocaine driven kind of stuff. But those are my various artist soundtracks that I wanted to share.
All right. I'm next, right?
Yes.
Well, I got 6, and they're all various artists, as in each song is by a different artist. This one, though, I have a CD of it. I need to get the vinyl. It's been on my list for a while, so I'm going to show the DVD, and that's Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
That vinyl is like $9 million. So.
Yeah, I know. It's like, even if I could find a better CD than the one I have, that would be, better than the one that I have. It's just a copy. But yeah, such great music, classic disco hits, and the performances during the film are just really incredible. the costumes for the film. The storyline is so good. Australian film. If you haven't seen it, it stands up. I just watched it a couple nights ago, and it has one of the best lines in it, I think. When Hugo Weaving, this is when they're in this town and their bus gets vandalized, and he makes the comment, about, being in the city and the urban environment, makes you tough, and despite all that, things like this, it still hurts. It's kind of a moment in time in terms of gay life in the city, preferring the urban areas as a form of protection. One of the other characters explains it that way. Great film. I got Stand By Me, this is Big Chill. I'm sorry. Big Chill. Terrible movie, but a good soundtrack.
I like that movie.
It's really not that great of a movie. But it is an interesting movie because you've got Kevin Costner makes his acting debut in this film as a corpse. Probably one of his better roles. So
he originally had a flashback speaking role in that, but those were all cut out.
Yeah. But you got great songs that, right. This was a film that was 1980. What was it? 1983. So a lot of 60s music because 60s, early 70s, because it's awake, the premise of the film. So they're listening to the music all these people, grew up with. So you've got Marvin Gaye and Heard It Through the Grapevine, A Whiter Shade of Pale, Procol Harum, The Temptations, My Girl, Good Lovin', The Rascals, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Tracks of My Tears. It's actually 2 songs here by Smokey Robinson. I Second That Emotion being the other one. And then Aretha Franklin, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. So all really, really good songs. But I never thought the movie was that good. I mean, it's a fair movie.
I think that's one of the biggest selling soundtracks of all time, too.
Yeah, I would believe that. But you can find it in dollar bins everywhere. Oh, sure. And it's a good compilation.
Yeah, with the exception of Aretha Franklin, it's all Motown. And then they came out with their own series, too. Well, they came out with more music from the Big Chill. Mm-hmm. And then they came out with this series of 10 albums, music from the Big Chill era. And so to capitalize on that movie, they just kept using Big Chill on their album covers of just various Motown people.
Instead of just calling it Motown hits.
Right.
I mentioned Stand By Me. I have that also. Much better movie and a really good soundtrack as well. The only song that's really out of place in the soundtrack is the title song, Stand By Me, because the film takes place, the story anyway, Stephen King's story, which was called The Body, takes place, I think, in 1954, somewhere around there. And Stand By Me was a hit in 60 or 61.
They would all, if it's 54, those would all be out of place.
I can't remember. I did. I actually made a video talking about the years that the different songs were released. It might have been 50. It might have been later 50s, but definitely the one song "Stand By Me" was post time period. But here's some good ones. Yakety Yak by the Coasters, Great Balls of Fire with Jerry Lee Lewis, Mr. Lee, the Bobettes. A lot of people got their acting start, in this movie. So yeah, Whispering Bells by the Dell Vikings. Let the Good Times Roll, Shirley and Lee.
That's the same Shirley as the Shirley and Company that does Shame, Shame, Shame. I didn't know that until just about 2 years ago.
All right. Well, didn't know that either.
I believe so. Guess I got confused with something else.
This was a crazy movie that I saw when it first came out, and I was able to find a soundtrack to it just maybe within the last 5 years. And it's this Australian film called Starstruck. So it's very much a period movie of the 1980s with, new wave music. You've got the Swingers doing several songs on here. Joe Kennedy, then Mental as Anything is another performer on here. And it's a funny movie. It's a fun movie. This girl wants to become a pop star in Sydney, Australia. So it's about her striving, and she tries to cozy up to this producer who is like, he's kind of like Corny Collins, and he does this music show that people try to get on, and but she's not tricked by him, but she doesn't realize that he's gay. So she's once she discovers that, it's kind of like, oh gosh, or whatever. She's got this crazy brother who is trying to be her producer and her promoter and things like that. A lot of cool characters in the film, but the music is really, really quite good as well. But definitely that pop, that new wave pop music of that era. This is various artists, and it's a great soundtrack. 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's all pieces, all classical pieces that were put together for the film. Film blew me away when I first saw it in '68 when it was released. I love the Ligeti pieces. They're just absolutely incredible to me. The music, it's kind of disjointed when you listen to it as a soundtrack, as you go from the Blue Danube, then you go into these Ligeti pieces, which are really odd choral pieces with these ethereal voices. So it's not necessarily as cohesive as a listen on an album, but it's still a great album. And
similar to Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick,
right?
Because you're listening to electronic music, then suddenly you're listening to Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, then you're listening to Singing in the Rain.
Right.
Like kind of all over the place.
So as a pure listen, doesn't quite work, but it's still pretty incredible soundtrack and put together for that film, because watching the film, the individual pieces work really well with with what is happening in the film.
Our first cat sat and watched that movie all the way through, and then as soon as the movie was over, he got up and walked away. I still remember that. It was the most bizarre thing.
Who did? I'm sorry?
Our first cat sat and watched 2001: A Space Odyssey from like the 5th minute all the way through the entire thing, and as soon as it ended, he got up and walked away, and stared at the TV. I don't know what he saw. If he saw something and he's waiting for it to come back, or what. Maybe he saw that red light. I don't know.
Pretty strange. Okay. The final one I have here is a great listen. A lot of great songs for the soundtrack in this film, Trainspotting. You've got songs by from Blur, Elastica, Brian Eno, New Order, Iggy Pop, Lou Reed. But I think one of the key tracks on here is the Underworld song Born Slippy, which you could really, unless you bought the single, and I have a single of it, this was the only way that you could get Born Slippy, because it was never released on an Underworld album. And it just became this like underground hit for Underworld. But it's still a great soundtrack, and it's a good listen all the way through with all the different artists on here. Pretty good movie too.
Yeah. Love it.
Pretty strange. Yeah. And that's what I have for the multiple artist soundtracks.
I forgot one.
What'd you forget?
Because I was talking about records and I forgot about the CD I got. It goes along with Rocky Horror Picture Show and Cruising, and it is Queer as Folk the soundtrack to the American. All three of them.
No, look at
Circuit
you.
City price sticker on there.
Yeah.
You don't see those anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to listen, especially the first one is just loaded with songs.
Yeah, there's lots of really good songs on those.
Yeah, remind me of every Sunday. It was a ritual. I mean, I don't know of another TV show, and it's never going to be that way again because we don't have TV shows like that. Everything is streaming now. Yeah. Although there are, I guess you could say that, there are streaming shows where the episode is available one at a time and at a specific, like every Saturday at 6 o'clock or whatever. So, but I just remember just different parties going on everywhere. Sunday night, I mean, you knew where like 3/4 of your friends were going to be somewhere watching that, and I still stand by that. I haven't seen it in a long time because I don't want to ruin the memories, because I'm afraid if I see it now, it's going to come off as super...
It has not aged well, unfortunately.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I did go because I wanted to watch it again, and about a year ago I started with the first season again, and it was like, yeah, especially the whole Justin and Brian thing.
I've never seen a single episode.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I still like the British one that it was based off of or whatever. I
love the ending of the British one with the car. That's but the US one goes on a lot longer. The British
it's
one
5 seasons. The British was only for 2 series.
Yeah, right. And I think the series are actually shorter than the US seasons.
Yeah, they're like 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah,
maybe.
So there's a lot more there for the British one. To me, my experience with that is everybody just kind of saw it whenever they saw it or whatever. It doesn't have that memory of going on for 5 years and every Sunday night everybody's gathered around their TVs or at some bar or wherever, and then the next day everybody's talking about it online. Or the British one doesn't have that for me because everybody kind of...
I had a friend that was living in London at the time when the original one came out, and sent got me copies of it. So I saw it because it was a few years before the US version came out. So I saw it way before. Should
we pause for a couple of seconds while everybody in England give them a chance so they don't have to pause the video, so they can type how much better the English one is than the American, and the American one shit, it's terrible, oh my god, it's awful, the British one is the only one, and we'll give you
like that was Shameless, and I actually thought the American Shameless was really good.
Season honestly with the UK Queer as Folk in the US, they really are. I mean, it's the same premise. You have the same characters, kind of.
Right. And you do have, with the first season and the first few episodes, especially, you do have the American one is basically doing the same thing, the water pouring all over himself while he's there. And it's like kind of an eye roll, because it's like, oh, you're just doing the exact same thing the British one was. But it starts to make its own pathway. About halfway through the first season, you're like, okay, this is much better to do your own.
Except the Teddy character in the UK version died, and he lived in the US version. So
yeah. Thanks a lot, Craig. Spoiler alert.
You're welcome. Yeah. I don't know. And if you haven't seen them, and they're both dated now, but
yeah. And speaking of Craig, it's his turn for his soundtracks.
Yay. It is. I have 20. And some of them have already been mentioned, so I'll just go quick. And I went with soundtracks I own. So there's lots that I could mention, but I decided to just go with. I almost didn't put this one in because half of the album is the same artist, but because Saturday Night Fever was in there, where half of that is the Bee Gees.
I just thought of one I could have definitely used, but it's under the artist name, but I think it's the one you're going to show it, so that's fine.
Maybe, I don't know. So I'm going to show you La Bamba. And most of it, obviously, this is Richie Valens, Los Lobos redid them. But you also have, Howard Hansberry doing Lonely Teardrops, Marshall Crenshaw's on here, Brian Setzer.
Yeah. That's definitely a various artist.
But what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the songs on this are Los Lobos. So that's why I almost didn't. But I really do love this soundtrack. I think it's
heard that for the first time like 2 months ago.
No, really?
At a record store.
Bo Diddley's on here. Yeah,
We're pretty
I,
good.
I think it's pretty great. I think there's like one reason. It's just corny, but Ghostbusters. Who are you gonna call? I listened to this a lot when it came out. I don't know that I've listened to this in a very long while, but it does have
Clean
In the
it up.
Name of Love, Thompson Twins, but really, and the beautiful I Can Wait Forever Air Supply, because we know how I love Air Supply.
Yes, you do.
I do. I really do love Air Supply. But Hot Night, Laura Branigan.
Laura Branigan,
that is like really the only reason to have this. Is
That's
Hot
the
Night,
first song
Laura
on side
Branigan.
2, isn't it?
Yes, it's the first song on side 2. It's so fantastic. I mean, you ain't gonna know Bobby Brown on this one. He's on,
on our
part
own.
2,
Ghostbusters 2.
And 2, we're called the Ghostbusters. However that song goes.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. They're Ghostbusters and they're in control.
In control. Oh.
Now it's up to us.
Okay, so this is from 1990. Pretty Woman. And this has Natalie Cole's Wild Women Do. I love that song. Look, it's on Pink too. And of course, It Must Have Been Love, Roxette. It has the Fame 90. David Bowie actually kind of liked that better than the other one. What else? And The King of Wishful Thinking.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Go West. That video looks terrible. But
I'll tell myself I'm over you.
Hated that movie.
But mine's Lavender. You said pretty much. I mean, but Dancing in the Sheets really is. And you know what?
Yeah, really, it's
The Never song. I always thought that was also Kenny Loggins, but that's somebody called Moving Pictures.
Yeah, he's got I'm Free is the other song from him.
Yeah, but for some reason, I just always thought that was him. Oh,
that could have been a single. That's a catchy song. That Never.
Yeah, it's good. But I thought it was Kenny Loggins, and it's not. Okay, Waiting to Exhale from 1995. Oh, there's only 3 Whitney songs on this, so this is all female artists. Excel, Shoop Shoop, Why Does It Hurt So Bad? Those are the Whitneys. But you've got Toni Braxton, Aretha Franklin, Brandy was Sitting Up in My Room, TLC's on here, Mary J. Blige with Not Gonna Cry. I Was Your Lover and Your Secretary every day of the week. Whatever.
Well, the secretary, it's probably more like 5 days out of the week. But
yeah, well, but she was his wife. So she was a secretary every day of the week.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Let's see, from 1994, then we have the Reality Bites soundtrack, which of course has My Sharona. Hey, this has got some good shit on it. It's got World Party with When You Come Back to Me on it. Posies, Going, Gone. I love the Lisa Loeb song.
There it is.
I don't care. U2's All I Want Is You. Big Mountains, Baby, I Love Your Way.
Oh, whoa.
It's good. The Juliana Hatfield 3.
Jesus.
Shut Your Mouth About My Juliana Hatfield. Spin
Terrible.
the Bottle.
That's Spin the Bottle is on. Oh.
And then
Lenny
Kravitz. Some good shit on that. This is a movie I've never seen, but it's a good soundtrack. From 1988, it is called Bright Lights, Big City. Look at Michael J. Fox there.
It's probably a better soundtrack than a movie. I've seen the movie.
I've never seen the movie. I've heard it's terrible, but it's got a Prince song that's only available on the soundtrack called Good Love. Yeah, called Good Love. Good Love.
I didn't know
it's interesting. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. But it's Prince.
I wonder how many Prince fans don't know that. That's crazy. I never heard
it's got True Faith, New Order. Brian Ferry is on here. Why I wanted it, there is a it's called the Glitter Mix of Pleasure Little Treasure, Depeche Mode. Donald Fagen. Woo! And it ends with pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
What Donald Fagen song?
Century's End.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's
Yeah,
good
that's a
jam.
very 80s movie. Very, I mean, you might like it just as to watch it as, oh, it's so 80s, but yeah, it's a he's coked up the whole time and he's like wheeling and dealing. And
I mean, I might have seen it way back when, but I don't know. I saw the soundtrack. I was like, I don't know what this movie is, but I was like, oh, look at this, all these great people on here. Let's see. 1987, Good Morning Vietnam. It's another one that's got all those good classics on it. You've got what, Martha and the Vandellas is on here, right? Right? Aren't they? Maybe I lied.
you know where to run, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like the first song on here.
Yeah.
The Game of Love.
Yeah.
James Brown, I Got You, I Feel Good. I mean, this has got some really good good songs on it. Baby, Please Don't Go. Them. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in years.
I haven't either.
I love this movie. And I love this soundtrack. Shag. It's so good.
What is it?
From 1989. So Annabeth Gish is in this movie. And I love Annabeth Gish. But this has, you've got Laverne Baker on here twice. Once with Benny King doing I'm Leaving It All Up to You. And then Save, they used to smoke, drink, dance the hoochie coochie, used to smoke and drink. And it ends with Chris Isaac with Diddly 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 Daddy. Diddly 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 Daddy. That's so good. I love this. I need to watch this movie. I haven't seen it.
I don't remember that at all. I know I saw it when it was first on videotape, but I don't remember it at all.
I mean, it's all about, and I have a cold stamp.
But they're dancing, right? It's a dance.
Yeah, it's a dancing. Shag is a dance.
Yeah, right.
And it's like this good little girl that goes, it's these 4 girls that go on like spring break or something like that right before they go into college, or maybe it's the end of their school year, and then they go and be hussies and enter this dance competition. So this is from 2004, but 51st Dates. And what they did with this is they took like new wave songs and made them like reggae. So who is all on here? I don't know who Wayne Wonder is, but he does Hold Me Now, Thompson Twins. Ziggy Marley does The Cars Drive. UB40, Every Breath You Take. Mark McGrath. He does The Ghost in You. Some of them I like. I mean, 311 does. Is it 311 that does Love Song?
Wow.
Wow.
I like it. Dryden Mitchell does Friday I'm in Love. That's not needed. I actually like Seal does Lips Like Sugar. So I don't know. It's just an interesting take on the song. So I like it. It's on orange vinyl.
A soundtrack that's all covers.
Yeah.
That would become popular like later on. That's kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah.
With those, they're called jukebox musicals, where they're old songs, but the cast is singing them, basically.
Yeah. Animal House. That's good.
I have that, but I don't remember what's on it. I know Shout.
It's got Louie Louie, Twisted the Night Away. Hey Paula.
Oh, okay.
Money, That's What I Want. Shout is on here. Yeah.
Oh.
There's several Sam Cooke songs on here. But yeah. And I just saw this movie the first time last year. And maybe if I saw it, it was fun. It was good. I liked it, but it was just like maybe I needed to be see it like a long time ago.
Yeah, you need to be 15.
Yeah, probably.
Watch that.
Yeah, but it was still like I'd never seen it. And let's see. This one's from 1980.
The bridge scene is very relevant today.
The what?
The bridge scene.
I don't know if I remember that. Let's see, from 1987. So the Hiding Out soundtrack, another movie I've never seen. John Cryer is in it.
Not good.
Yeah. Who?
Keith Coogan.
I don't know who that is. Do I?
He's the guy from Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, okay. This has Pretty Poison, Catch Me, I'm Falling on it, though.
That was the big
Catch
single,
Me,
yeah.
I'm falling. Boop, 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 boop. There's even a Boy George track on here. The reason I got this is because it has the duet of Crying with Roy Orbison and Katie Lang. And I just think it's so beautiful. And that is why I bought this. But for overall, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, the movie's, well, it's got an anti-gay kind of vibe in a couple of scenes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
John Cryer, it's one of those, he's an undercover guy and he goes back to high school as a teenager, pretending to be a teenager, goes back to high school to like bust some sort of high school drug, sort of like 21 Jump Street, but he's pretending to be a teenager.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's hiding out.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. So this is another really good soundtrack. Also, I've never seen the movie. Remember the Titans. But this has, that's kind of a cool color there too. Where is it? It's got Spirit in the Sky on it. Norman Greenbaum. And that's like why, because it's kind of hard to find that album and to find a decent.
Just buy that album. That whole album is great.
The
Norman Greenbaum?
Norman Greenbaum. Yeah.
Album.
I've never heard it.
It's been reissued recently.
Oh, it has been reissued?
Yeah,
because all I've been able to find prior.
Are they all religious themed, or is he just the one?
Yeah.
Because that's got a really great guitar groove.
Yeah,
to it, but I don't, I can't really get. Gotta have a friend in Jesus. That's
yeah, it's a great.
Let me change the lyrics to this, please.
In the sky, it's got "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" on it. Peace Train, long cool woman in a black dress.
Love that song.
It's so good. Leon Russell doing "A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall." Buck Owens, "Act Naturally." Yeah, again. Oh, my pen just blew out at me. I'm almost done. Another really good soundtrack. Never seen the movie. Virgin Suicides.
What? Wait, you've never seen that movie?
I've never seen this movie.
Oh my god! So it's in my top 5 of all time.
Oh, really?
Love that movie.
I don't remember. I know I've seen it. I don't remember it.
It's a great soundtrack too.
Yeah, it's got Heart, Music Man. There's quite a bit of Todd Rundgren on here. I don't know if we need that, but Sloan. Yeah. Air is on here. Holly's "The Air That I Breathe." All I need is air. That is so good.
What's the Air song? Is it "Sexy Boy"? That's the one I'm.
No, it's "Say Matin L.A." C Matin LA, I don't know, or C Matin Law, I don't know. Another Heart, "Crazy on You" is on here. Gilbert O'Sullivan with "Alone Again," Naturally, so sad. And 10cc, "I'm Not in Love." Yeah, it's a good. Oh, and Styx, "Come Sail Away." I mean, it's the last song, so you can just turn it off.
I actually like that song.
I mean, it's all right.
It's one of the few Styx songs I actually like.
There are worse. So.
Mostly because of the guitar.
"Stand By Me" was already talked about, but Lollipop. I love Mr. Lee. I don't care. And let's see, what is this one? This is from 1996. That would be The Craft. And this has a lot of great people on it. It's got Our Lady Peace doing "Tomorrow Never Knows." You've got Heather Nova.
That's okay.
I like their version of "Tomorrow Never Knows." But it has Love Spit Love's version of "How Soon Is Now." Letters to Cleo doing "Dangerous Type." Julian Hatfield's on here. Jewel. Elastica, Tripping Daisy. Yeah, it's good. I love this song.
I've got a CD single from that, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe it's Elastica. So
the Love Spit Love's version of "How Soon Is Now" was the most
Yeah, it might be Low Spit Love.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
And that later became the Charmed opener. Of course, this is going to be in here.
Oh yeah.
Hairspray is going to be in my favorite soundtracks. You got the Ikeettes and Gene Pitney. And the 5 Dutones. Shake a Tail Feather. So good. I wish I were a princess. Peggy Mark. I'd make
Mama
you
Didn't Lie,
my
Town
prince.
Without Pity.
Mhm.
I'm surprised you didn't mention the Gong Gong song.
I said the Ikeettes.
Oh, You'll
Just
Lose a Good Thing is on here.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best song on here? We'll see if we have the same one. Recorded in St. Louis.
Recorded in St. Louis. Well,
The best song on here is.
Okay. Well, I'm very partial to the Gong song, so that's.
Oh, that might have been recorded in St. Louis. That's the. I guess there, St. Louis.
Blue doobie doo. What's one here? Is Town Without Pity?
Shake a Tail Feather. Not the Bobby Purify, the one that's on here from the 5 Dutones.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got that on 45 3 times, just in case.
Let's see. And also, John Waters, so anything. Cry Baby. Which, it's his musical movie, but it has, other songs that are not done by the performers, which was Rachel Sweet and James Enfield. It was not Johnny Depp or What's-Her-Head singing the songs. So Amy Locane, but, this is like my favorite movie of all time.
So. Cry, baby, cry, baby, cry.
My baby. That actually is the song from, it was old. And Please, Mr. Jailer. There's some good shit on there. And then I got 2 left. So my second, this is a good one. The Crow. This has like one of the greatest like soundtrack openers ever, and that would be The Cure with Burn. So good. It also has 9 Inch Nails version of Dead Souls, the Joy Division song. You've got Machines of Loving Grace. Violent Femmes are on here with Color Me Once. Helmet with Milk Toast. Pantera's even on here. My Life with Thrill Kill Cult, Jesus and Mary Chain.
Yeah. Medicine.
With Snake Driver, Medicine. Yeah.
I noticed you didn't mention the most popular song on the soundtrack.
What, Big Empty?
The Big Empty from
Stone I said Pilots. Stone Temple Pilots. I just didn't say the song. But my favorite soundtrack that I own, and I love this movie too, and that would be Some Kind of Wonderful. This is a wonderful soundtrack. You've got Pete Shelley with Do Anything. Furniture is on here. Flesh for Lulu, I Go Crazy. Stephen Tintin Duffy with She Loves Me. Jesus and Mary Chain, Hardest Walk. The Apartments with Shy's Time. The March Violets, Miss Amanda Jones. And the March Violets are on here twice. Turn to the Sky is the other song. But I would probably hear shit for this. I don't care. I love Lick the Tins version of Can't Help Falling in Love. It's nothing like the original. It's very, I don't know, Irish. I don't know. It's so good. I love their version of that song. It's not slow. It's upbeat and poppy and yeah, it's great. So there you have it. Those are my soundtracks.
Oh wow!
And I'm sticking to it.
Wow.
There's a lot.
Wow.
I know there's one I can't believe you didn't mention.
What did I not mention?
There's one you didn't mention that I pulled.
Oh. So what are you looking for it, Pippin? I may not own it.
Yeah,
That
I thought
one.
for sure that was Dylan.
I did too, and it's technically it's various artists because
So I kind of kept from doing that because it is mostly Dolly. Same thing with like
yeah, it is
Vinyl.
mostly her, but it also has it has Burt Reynolds, and it has what's his name, Dom DeLuise,
I know. I was trying to also stay away from musicals,
and
even though they're
Gene
various
Abrams,
artists. Yeah.
Charles Durning. Well, he's got like several people on here.
Rhinestone also would have been.
Yeah, but
so-
still, I would say
no,
musicals.
not Rhinestone. This
Musicals
is
don't
where,
Yeah.
count for various artists because all the music was written by one person.
No, but that's still various artists is people
Various artists means the
performing it
people
though.
singing it. What are you
People
talking about?
performing it. They,
That's
if you have a Bob Dylan tribute album, it's still a various artist
Still a
album.
various
because
artist album.
Various
I mean, this wasn't
various
written by all the
artists are
same person.
performing.
These were
right,
written
but
by
it's
different
not
people.
a soundtrack. Never mind.
And the same thing with the soundtrack. Dolly didn't write all of those songs.
No, there a lot of them
Actually,
are from
she
the
only
musical,
wrote
and she
two.
has her own
Well,
songs
I would
that
have
are remixed in there.
done this differently with that. With that.
With that in mind,
Yes.
no.
You want to start over?
No.
Leave in the comments section, what does a various artist album mean to you? Mike is next.
Well, there's a reason I'm going last because I am not a soundtrack person. They're like greatest hits to me. I don't know. I don't buy greatest hits records. I don't buy soundtracks. I've just never been all that interested in them. I do have some that are single artist ones that are very good. I mean, like that's for another video.
Yes.
I do have a couple of those, but yeah, I don't really have. I don't know. I mean, I have Saturday Night Fever.
I don't have a lot of the ones where it's like older songs just mixed on, like the oldies are using a movie, so we're putting. I don't have a lot of those either.
I guess I could have done like concert footage or like music biographies, like the Stax thing. I got that. That's great. I could have done
Woodstock
the
is a soundtrack.
I could have done Woodstock or
is a
the
soundtrack,
last waltz. The greatest.
Woodstock is annoying though because it makes me I want to see it. I don't want to just
Nobody's
hear
listening.
a soundtrack.
No one's putting on the record of Woodstock.
Yeah, at this point,
the
I don't
last
think so.
even the last waltz, I don't watch that much, and I love it. It's great, but I'd rather watch it.
Right, you want to see it.
But this is one. This is the only, and I don't even keep these. I keep them in a box in the closet of like records I'm just gonna sell someday. But I've had this probably since the day it came out. Terrible movie, but it's got a couple of songs on here that I absolutely love, and that is the Vision Quest soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I have that.
This has.
Oh,
it opens with a horrible journey.
I don't own it.
It
So
opens with a horrible Journey song.
Never seen
that's
it.
redundant. That's redundant because it's Journey.
Is that only
and,
the young that
John
you're talking
Waits.
about?
Yes.
I like that song.
No, that's terrible. Well, that's Journey.
That song was written for a
John
dying
Waits.
child.
John Waite, Change. The Style Council, Shout It to the Top. A terrible Don Henley song. She's on the Zoom. That's fucking bullshit. Dio with Hungry for Heaven, open side 2. And then the best song on here is Lunatic Fringe, Red Rider. But I have the Red Rider album because that's a great record, so I would never listen to it on here. Sammy Hagar, I'll Fall in Love Again. I think that's on Standing Hampton.
Yeah, it's on Standing Hampton.
I would never listen to this. Foreigner, Hot Blooded. I have Double Vision, so I would never listen to
Hot-blooded.
And then the two reasons I actually own this. Madonna's Crazy for You, and one of my favorite Madonna songs, The Gambler.
I'm a gambler,
that.
and I'll
I'll
take
leave
you
it between your eyes. That sounds like a really good soundtrack, with the exception of the Don Henley.
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah,
have
sure.
that. I really
I've
like
always
that.
meant to get
John
it.
Waite
Yeah.
song.
Absolutely horrible movie. What, Matthew Modine?
Yeah,
Matthew
he's
Modine. Linda
and
Fronin-
he's a wrestler, and he
Fronin-
falls for the girl or something like that. And he's sniffing her
Yeah,
panties.
it's
Oh
terrible.
well, good for
But we should
him.
get that on the back.
That looks a little enhanced.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And
There's
that's all
some
I
well
got. That's
placed
all.
shadows on that.
And that's it. I'm just not. I'm not a soundtrack. It's to me. It's like I don't know. Just never. I listen to records, play single artists mostly. So I don't buy So
Well, that's why I chose some of the ones I chose, because, like, this is really a great,
that's great. I see now
but
that
you
I
want
would
to
probably-
see the movie.
Yeah.
Same thing with Wattstack. It's great if you have, but the movie doesn't
Yeah.
sound as good because they never remastered it. And then, like, things like you didn't have the movie available at the time, so you only had the. But yeah, this is the only one that I think I pulled that's just a straight up, like Vision Quest, just a straight up soundtrack. But it was the memory.
Sometimes those compilation soundtracks are really good because then you can listen to, the individual songs. You don't have to keep check. It's a great way to just listen to the individual songs, and you can still have the album.
Yeah.
So we don't have any bottoms soundtracks because, soundtracks are a type of thing, like Mike is saying, that you usually don't really get, so you're definitely not going to get bad ones. Because a lot of times you look at them, you know what the songs are. So why would you get a bad, horrible soundtrack?
Yeah.
Hey, here's a bunch of songs I can't stand on one movie soundtrack. I'm going to definitely pick this up. Although I do know people who would probably do that. But yeah. No, nobody on this panel.
No one on this.
Well, actually, but I don't think it's bad. Most people would say Rhinestone is bad, but I love it. So
no, I mean the
love the
person
movie.
themselves know that it's awful, but they'll still pick it up.
Yeah, but they still buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our soundtracks, various artist version of the Vinyl Community Guncles. We are so glad you joined us. What's some of your favorite various artist soundtracks? Let us know in the comments section. Did we show any that were your absolute favorites? Or I'm sure there are ones that you cannot believe we didn't show. All credibility has been tossed right out the window now. Let us know, certainly. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles, and what are we doing next? We are going to review the Soft Boys, Underwater. One of us chose that. I don't remember which one. Somebody did. Mike did.
Mike.
So
and then we only have 2 years.
Oh yeah, what year are we doing next?
We only have 2 years left in that, so the next one is 2003.
So eventually, after a couple dozen more album reviews, we'll get around to doing the tops and bottoms from 2003. That'd be a good year-end episode. We do have our 500th episode coming up. Maybe we should do it for that.
Well, there's one more year after our 2003.
2003. Give it up. That's all coming up and a lot more. Hopefully you'll join us. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fifth, and along with the Surly.
Stop calling me Shirley. And I know you said Surly. Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Correct. Final.
The always lovable.
Right.
Oh, you're so
Is it?
cute.
I
You
can't
didn't
say
say
you guys
you're-
are all locking up.
I already
Oh, yeah,
said
you locked
Craig
up.
final
I hear you.
plethora.
Okay.
We're a
Bye.
mess.
Mic it up, James.
Yeah, thanks a lot for watching. See you later.
Yeah, bye.